Hey, hey, beautiful people, what's up? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another week. We are continuing our fairly new conversation on what most would call law of attraction. I'm going to call it energy laws just to make it sound easier to some people. Hey, hey, how May? What's up, y'all? Hey, I see you. Um, you know, I was laughing earlier because I was like, when I get to this point, because usually I have like a for real series going on, and then I get to a point where things will flow when it's necessary. It's like you are in complete dark, hey, hey, and you can see maybe 200 feet in front of, if that much, but let's say that's a long way. That's like a car light. Let's say like you can see like the next 20 feet in front of you. And that's how life has been lately for me. It's like, okay, I have all these plans and ideas, and I have plan A, B, C, D, and E all the time, right? So the universe likes to, shake my life up by making me do things without planning. And so this is kind of one of those things. So I just find it funny how it works because I get these downloads like what I consider is the last minute, like the day of, it's the last minute to me. But that's what's been happening lately. So I just thought that was hilarious, but I'm here for it. I'm all the way here for it. Hey, y'all. I can't see your name over here on Facebook, so say what's up to me. Hey, Kimmy. So listen, I was like, okay, what is it that people really want and need to understand to take that next step? Because really, there's so much out here to learn. There's so much being talked about in terms of energy and law of attraction and all these things and how to create your life. So what up, girl? Hetty, Mason, hey girl. So there's so much kind of swirling in the atmosphere. It's hard to pinpoint what is for you, like what will benefit your life. And so I had to check in with one of my clients, like, can I please let me share some of your story, because she is going through something that I think is, well, both of us, man and a woman, they're both going through something that I think is so common, but people kind of brush it off as normal life. Like people almost feel like if you are not suffering in some way, then you can't relate. Like when you ask, so I'll just give you the example. So they have kids, adult children, and there's one adult child is like the one they just can't get a handle on. They're just like, we don't want her to be alone. We want her to have kids. We want her to, have this type of lifestyle, have this type of education so she can make this type of money, have this lifestyle. And we've done all we can do. And we just don't know what else to do. We don't know how to get through to her, how to make her see us trying to help her. Like we just want to help her. And you know what their daughter is saying? The daughter is like, they won't let me be who I want to be. Like they not trying to help me. Everything they do is easy for them. Like they pay for my college. So what? They had the money. They had a 2-pair house. Have you ever met a person like that? For real? Because it makes you want to smack them, right? Like you really that ungrateful? You that ungrateful for real? Seriously? But at the same time, with these overbearing parents, that's irritating too. So I'm talking to all of them separately, but because I'm the center, I'm getting all the bits and pieces of information and I'm just putting it together like, oh, everybody's getting on everybody's nerves. And everybody's main concern is they don't make me happy or I can't make them happy. And Oh yeah, kid definitely had a sense of entitlement. She's spoiled in a motherfucker. Like I feel sorry for whatever man get with her right now. She got some growing to do. But again, everybody, her and her parents, everybody is saying they don't make me happy, or I can't make them happy. And that's mostly like dad, that's most men actually, and moms too, but men in general who really get stuck on I can't make them happy. And that is an ego crusher for them. And so we all kind of do that in our everyday lives. And I feel like it is one of the foundational things that keep us stuck as individuals trying to please other people. So you got a friend and I'm gonna do me. Like say I come, I'm having a bad day. I run into this person, this associate, somebody I talk to here and there. And she's like, girl, how you doing? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm not very open in terms of like sharing my personal life with people, like deep stuff. But say this day, because I'm having a really bad day, I need somebody to talk to. So I'm like, man, I'm just having a tough day. I'm scared. They found a lump. I might have cancer. I'm waiting on the test, but I'm nervous. I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, man, like, that sucks. I feel you. Man, stuff over here sucks too. Like, I just lost my job and my granny had a stroke, last year. And so we scared that she might have another one. And we trying to get her to do stuff better, but she ain't hearing it. And she goes on and on about her life and how horrible it is, like trying to outdo how bad my life is. And that's a normal thing. Like people do this on a regular basis. Either they're trying to outdo you, like, okay, your life, you think your life is bad, or you think this, thing is bad, but let me tell you about mine, it's much worse. So either they try to outdo you, or they share with you something that they've gone through that is like what you're going through, because they think it'll make you feel more connected. Or maybe they feel more connected. Maybe they just feel more comfortable that way. And so we do this to each other back and forth. And the truth is, there is no way to be beneficial to somebody else when you're in the same energy they're in. So that's how we come to what most people call law of attraction, and what I call just energetic law, energy, because as we go through life, our purpose is to love. Like love is who we are. Literally, it is who we are. So anytime we're not loving, and that doesn't have to mean a specific person, in general, anytime we're not loving, we don't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It sucks. And so that's why you'll hear a lot of people say you have to think positive thoughts and you have to feel good, because that'll get you your results. And like last week, I told you I had people come back and say, I think positive thoughts all the time. And I'm like, that's good. But that is maintenance. You have to get to the set point first. So you have to understand what's underneath, what's happening under the the peak of the iceberg that you can see. There's a whole lot of iceberg under the ocean. Okay. So underneath this fluffy stuff that we're doing is you understanding how energy works. So it works like this: like energy matches like energy. So if we're both on the same wavelength energetically, you feel like shit, I feel like shit, we attract each other. We both feel like shit together. Okay. Now, there's a such thing as getting help, because sometimes you'll feel like shit. Like, say I feel like crap, but I'm hopeful and I want to feel better. So in that case, sometimes I will attract somebody who can help pull me up, because I'm really hopeful and I really want to feel better. Maybe I just don't know how to do it by myself right then. So somebody will come along and say, hey, and tell me a corny joke or something and make me laugh. And that's a real life thing. It happens. But most people don't see it that way. And it doesn't happen as often as it should, because usually we just kind of flow with wherever we are. So if You down here and that other person down here, you just flow together and you keep dropping down and down together. Sometimes you go up a little bit together, but inevitably you go back down because your set point is down here. So if you notice, if you're feeling really good and you come in contact with somebody who's feeling really bad and they tell you how bad they're feeling, or maybe you see how bad they're feeling and you try to help them. You try to say, it's going to be okay, or maybe you should try this, do this other thing. Have you done this? Believe me, it'll get better. Time will heal, whatever you say. And they cuss you out. Have you ever had that before? They get mad at you. I've been cussed out plenty of times because I am too happy for a lot of people. They be like, fuck is wrong with you? They don't know my real life, even though I'm still happy, but they don't know my struggles. You know what I mean? But on the surface, it just looks like everything is great and everything has always been great. And I'm this happy, bubbly, sometimes bubbly, but always happy person. And it irritates the shit out of somebody who does not feel good. It's so irritating. So they want to be bad. They want to feel bad because right now they just feel bad. They don't feel good and they want to sit in it for a minute. And I mean, that's cool. It'd be like that sometimes. It's just kind of, sometimes you can't do anything but feel what you feel. And I get that. But if you know how to condition yourself emotionally, you condition your emotions so that you have a set point above anger, above, your worst fears, above frustration even. Or maybe a set point is right at frustration, but if you get to frustration, then you can reach hope. You can go a step above. You know what I mean? So if you practice being happy, and I mean that literally, if you practice finding joy in everything, if you practice finding a way to love regardless of what's going on. So if your kid is not acting right, if they flunking out of school and wasting your money, if they are not, finding a partner, getting married, having you some grandkids like you want them to, your fear about all the things they aren't doing is keeping you down here and thus keeping them down here because they could never come in your presence and be up here emotionally if you still down here. You won't even notice it. You won't see it. So when their daughter shows up excited about her own ideas, what she really wants to do, what she's passionate about, her dreams, they can't see the possibilities. They can't really support her in what she wants because on that subject, not everything, but on that subject, she's up here flowing in love, flowing in the love of her craft, the love of her dreams, the love of her ambitions, her passions. And they're like, this is stupid because they don't get her passions. They don't even really see it as a passion. They don't see the love. They just see, you're wasting my money, which I get it, but this is all I see. You're wasting my money. You don't have any real plans. You don't know what you're doing. You're just young and stupid, and probably based on a lot of what they did when they were young and stupid, right? But it's just a mismatch, and it will always be a mismatch. So what happens since she's not practiced up here? This is the subject where she's up here emotionally, but she's not really practiced up there. So as soon as they start getting on her about things not going the way they want it to go, and they're like super old school traditional, like you need to find a husband who's doing well and get married and have kids. And she's like a super millennial. You done lost your goddamn mind. Why would I do something like that? Like she's not having it. So they clash. She comes back down here to fight with them, and nothing gets solved. Nothing gets solved ever. It's just a circle, and it keeps happening, and it will keep happening until somebody, one person, just one person, decides that they are going to practice. They're going to climb, condition themselves emotionally to be up here on most subjects so that when this starts down here, they could go, okay, love you, talk to you later, boop, 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 and go about their business and come back when the coast is clear. Try again. It just takes one person. And it works because fitness, like when you're fit, when you're conditioned, like think about when your body is fit, you're conditioned, you can pretty much do whatever. You're ready. You know what I mean? So if you need to bust out running, you're ready. If you just gonna play a game or pick up football real quick or basketball or whatever, if you got to go chase your kids around, you're ready. You're fit. You don't have to go to the gym for 3 months and work out and eat differently and, ramp up your heart fitness or strength and all this stuff. You don't have to do all that. You don't have time to do all that. So the same thing is with your emotions. You have to treat your emotions as seriously as you would treat your body if you had to get fit for whatever, a contest, a marathon, just because somebody told you they give you $1 million if you're fit. Who knows? Like pick whatever works for you. But you have to treat your emotions the same way, like the importance of having or being fit, emotionally sound, fit. Fit is still a better word. I haven't found a better word than fit so far. If you got one, let me know. But I keep coming back to fit. You have to be fit because you have to be ready for whatever. So if you're floating along up here and somebody come in here with some bullshit, it always happens. It always happens. You have to know how to pivot so that you can stay up here. Oh, but sometimes it doesn't work, right? Sometimes it's too strong or it's in an area where you're not as fit as other areas. So if it's in one of them areas where you're weaker, they might, you up here, they might bring you down a little bit. Okay, that's cool. They bring you down, but you still get away. And then how quickly can you get back up here emotionally? Is that going to ruin your whole day? Is that going to ruin your whole week, your month? Are you going to be dwelling on this bullshit next week? You're going to be telling the 15th person that same story about that same person who keep doing the same thing to bother you, and you keep falling for it over and over and over again. Gotta stop. You have to find a way to work out your emotions so that you build strength emotionally. Now, I jumped to that. Let me go back to those of us who are inclined to feel what other people are feeling, to feel connected. And a lot of people will say, if you believe in stuff like this, they're empaths. Now, an empath is somebody who can literally feel the emotions of another person. I completely believe in empaths. I am an empath, but also whatever you are, I don't care what you are. If you're an empath, if you are some type of fairy, angel, like I'm all kind of stuff. I'll tell you about it later. I'm just saying, people have all kind of names of these ethereal beings that they believe have some type of control or gifts, right? So if you're one of those people, even if you are one of those people, you still need a certain balance here in this earthly plane where we're walking around in these meat suits. There are certain laws that we have to live by here, that we agreed to live by when we came into these bodies. So you can be all up here in the air if you want to be, but that's only going to get you so far. Sometimes you got to walk on the earth. Your feet need to land, okay? So when your feet land, you have to find a balance between your spiritual self and your human self. That's most important. See, sometimes that one person can bring you up out that bad or sad mood. That's true. That's true, Mason. Sometimes a person can bring you up. And when that happens, that's because you are open to that. You're open, you're willing. And sometimes it's only one person. Sometimes if you notice, you'll be in a funk and nobody can cheer you up but this one person who has that access to you. Maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your child, but it's that one person who has that special access to really get into your heart because you are open to them in a different way than you are other people. So yeah, but you have to be open. If you closed off and like just say, don't fall into the misery loves company bull crap, right? If you're in the misery loves company energy, that's how you're gonna get. Oh, you got a call early this morning that pulled you right out of the sad mood you woke up in. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Yay. That is awesome. I love when that happens. I love it. And it does happen, who jet me. I feel you though. Whoever works for you. But it's hard. Like, we talk a lot of crap, but it's hard sometimes when it is that person who is really close to you and you love them so much, and all they want is for you to feel them, like to really hear them, to feel their pain, and usually to agree with them. They just really need somebody. They want you, particularly. They really want you to agree with them, to feel them. And you trying your best to be up here emotionally. But right now, for some whatever reason, they're down here and they really want you to feel their pain. They want you to come down there with them and feel what they're going through and understand it. What do you do then? So you brighten up days. I see you, Jaya. You do sometimes. I mean, sometimes you black out the sun with the head, but you know. I can see it. I laugh all the time. But for real, like you love it. You love them. You love them so much. And you want them to know that you're there for them and you understand. And thank you. You really want them to know this. And they want you to be there for them in that way. And then it's like, what do you do? How do you maintain your level of emotional fitness? How do you maintain? How do you be there for somebody you love, showing them love, and at the same time be in love? Because remember, if you drop emotionally, you're not in love. If you are thinking, feeling negative feelings, then you're not in love. That is directly against who you truly are, who your spiritual nature is, what your spiritual nature is, love. So that's why we feel negative emotions. So if it drops, really, she gonna say the fact that I laugh at my own little joke is the worst. I feel like you hating on me right now. Look, I already told y'all I was corny and I enjoy corniness in general. So I'm very easily entertained. I'm just saying. And yes, I entertain myself. That's a part of my emotional fitness, y'all. I teach myself how to make myself laugh at the smallest thing, at the dumbest thing, at the most painful thing sometimes. Because sometimes in hindsight, that should be funny. It's like, really? Come on. I really think my call knew I needed that call this morning. That's amazing. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Sometimes we just hook up because everything is always working out for you. So maybe that person has something to give, you needed something, and boom. Who knows? Who knows if it was intentional? But what do you do when you really want to be intentional? I know you do. I know you do the same thing. What do you do when you really want to be intentional in helping somebody you love, but you don't want to bring yourself emotionally? You don't want to be down with them, but they really want you to. Because let's face it, most people want you to be down with them. When I have friends who call me and they have all kind of issues, all the issues, man, like the range of issues is ridiculous. All the problems. And because I'm a natural born therapist, I get all the calls about all the problems, right? Or I intuitively call somebody and they got all the problems. I know it was going to happen. I was just trying to make sure they were alive type deal. But, and not to mention the people I don't know, the strangers who message me all the time and email me, and then the clients I take on who like, The problems are ridiculous. The amount of problems that I listen to on a regular basis. It's ridiculous. If I didn't have emotional fitness, I would be as depressed as everybody else. But here's the thing. There's a balance in being emotionally fit, riding high, feeling good, and supporting somebody who's not feeling so good without being an asshole, without being overbearing, and without stooping to their level, and not their level meaning as a person, but their emotional level, not getting on their emotional level. Because when you need somebody, usually if you're up here, when you need somebody, there's just a few people who can really snap you out of it. But the people who are down here, and when I say the people who are down here, I mean habitually, the people who live here, which is most people, believe it or not. Listen to people, you'll see. The people who live here habitually, maybe they're in the middle, they're a little, a little frustrated with life on a regular basis, a little irritated. The people who live there, they have an easy time finding somebody to snap them out of stuff or to come to the level with them so that they have somebody to talk to about it. If you don't have that, then you really have you have an opportunity to create this unique kind of mesh of energy where you can be flying high and comfort somebody who's not feeling good at all, but still keep your vibration up here. And it's kind of a thin line. Like, you got to be careful. You got to walk the line, because you have to understand. You don't have to, but people want you to understand. So it's good if you can understand and at the same time be able to say, it's okay. Be okay if they cuss you out. Be okay if they don't think it's good enough, because that happens sometimes. But it takes the practice and all of that. Thanks, Jazzy. I see you, Bobo. It takes the practice for you to get to the point where you walk the fine line and you can keep your vibration high and still take care of somebody who's not feeling so great. Are y'all hearing me? You feeling me? Because here's the thing. You cannot be broke enough to help another broke mofo have abundance. Like, you just can't. There's nothing you can do. So when people call me about being broke, look, I can't give you all my money, then I'm gonna be as broke as you. Like, make some different choices in life. I don't know what to tell you. That's not a thing. And they get mad. They get real mad. You got all this. You don't know what I got. Just like I don't know what you got, except what you telling me, which probably means you spent your money on all the shit you want, right? You got new clothes? You do, don't you? You got the Jordans and everything, huh? Oh, you got the Yeezys. Damn, they even more expensive. Okay. You got that new PS. Okay, all right. You got you got blunts and everything. You got liquor. You got the good stuff too, right? But your light's about to get cut off because you broke. No, I can't. No, thank you. I can't go. You gotta laugh, not at them, but with them as they cuss you out and be mad at you, because you can't do anything for a person like that. They'll be back with the same story next month, right? You can't get broke enough to help a broke person be abundant. You cannot be sick enough to help a sick person heal. You just can't. If somebody is sick, even if when they're on their deathbed and they are crying out in agony and wanting you to understand them and feel their pain, there is no way for you to literally feel their pain and fully understand them without you getting on their level emotionally. You can't dip that low and expect to feel good and expect to fly high and expect to help them. That's most important. You cannot help anybody if you're on the same emotional level they're on. If it's down here, you can't help them. Same story every payday. For real. For real. They got blunts and bundles. They do though. Their hair always look better than mine. They got nails. I don't never get my nails done, man. When the last time I had a pedicure? I don't even know. But they in there every 2 weeks, Joe. They laid and slayed and all that. And I'm just like, I don't get it. I do get it. But come on. I'm just saying. DJ, what up? I'm just saying. You can't help them. You cannot help them. So your best bet, because the only way you can help somebody is that you elevate yourself emotionally. And I don't mean for the moment. I don't mean for the day. I don't mean in that situation. I mean, get fit, y'all. Practice. And somebody said last week, I tried that, and I the technique I taught last week about changing your not your perception, but your associations, changing your associations to things like your pain and pleasure associations. And they're like, I tried that. I just couldn't get, look, this is not a one-time thing. This is a practice. Just like you practice whatever the hell you do for a living, right? You go to work every day. That's a practice. You're practicing that job. I don't care what it is. You practice it. You do it all the time. You get better and better at it. In a minute, you do it without thinking about it. Like when you drive, most of you've been driving a long time. You don't even pay attention now. You know where you're going. If you know where you're going, like if you're going home, for example, you know how to get home. You don't pay attention. You be driving half-ass, paying attention. You look up like, oh, I didn't even realize I made it this far. Like that's kind of human nature. We get used to something. And then, really, you feel attacked? Cut it. Y'all so silly. You don't feel attacked. But for real, you have to practice, okay, before it becomes second nature. And when I say it's second nature, for me, it like we're probably born that way, but we get really reared out of it, out of our natural intuition. And so you got to figure out how to get back there. So you have to practice. You have to practice staying up here. You have to practice being happy. You have to practice pivoting when something crappy happens, when somebody pisses you off, when something hurts, when somebody has triggered you. I know that's a buzzword these days, but it's a true thing. When somebody has triggered you, you have to figure out how to pivot and get out of that energy. Get back to happy. You got to figure it out for you. It looks different for everybody, but you got to figure it out for you. You can't give up on you. I like the way you put that, Jazzy. That's real. It shows that they ain't paying attention. That's true. They be out here messing up some stuff. Not paying attention on autopilot. And that's the problem. That is the exact problem. That's why I should have titled this mess. That is it. You cannot be out here on autopilot unless you've done the work, unless you're already emotionally fit. If you're fit, if you up here flying high, you could be on autopilot sometimes. You still should be on autopilot all the time. But sometimes it's okay. It won't make a big difference, okay? The practice is forever. The maintenance is forever. But sometimes you can relax. You can chill, fly high. And people always come, they always coming at you sideways. I don't care who you are, where you are in the world. It's going to happen at some point. Somebody is going to try to piss you off. They're going to try to do something that they think is disrespectful. And I put a post up earlier this week about disrespect being an individual thing. Like, can't nobody tell you what disrespect is for you. That's up to you to define. So they can do whatever they want to do. But if you define it as disrespect, then you've taken that on as a disrespectful thing. If you ignore that mofo, then that disrespect is all theirs. It's all of them. They get it right back because you didn't accept it. They try to throw it at you, but you didn't accept it. That's the same thing that goes for any issue that you might have, any tough decision, any upset, any hurt, any pain. You don't have to take that mess on. Hey, Shelly. You can ignore it, you can dismiss it, and it'll go back to where it came from. You don't have to deal with that. But you do have to work out emotionally. You got to find what works for you. Find what makes you happy. Figure yourself out so that you know how to always have access to you. Do you know what that means? Like you want to be in a position to where you can never close off so tight that you can't see you, that you can't hear you. You know, that person talking in your head, the other one, other one. That's you. That you got to be able to hear yourself. You got to be able to know you on the inside. So when something is so hard, because life is not easy all the time, y'all. Sometimes shit is just hard. We don't know why. Sometimes it just is. Okay. So when that hard thing comes and you instantly, you know, kind of as a reflex, you want to shut down, shut off. If you've been practicing, if you have emotional fitness, there's always going to be a part of you that reaches inside and says, hey, little baby hiding in the dark. I know how to reach you. You know, tickle, tickle, wake up. Come on out of there. It's okay. Smile, try again, go sit in the sunlight. You'll be okay. That's what you need. You need to be able to be that for yourself, though, because nobody else is going to be able to make you happy. It's not their job anyway. And you can't make everybody else happy. It's not your job. You got to figure it out for yourself. All right, y'all. There we go. You got to figure it out. That's it. That's what we're doing today. Start practicing. Find out your thing or things. In fact, it's probably best. Let me give you a real assignment. Yep, I'm writing it down so I can remember. Because I want to know who did it. So get a piece of paper. And I want you to write how to feel good. And write a list, as much as you could think of ways that you can feel good, things that make you feel good, experiences that make you feel good. People, it's kind of finicky. Let's stay away from people, unless it's like a baby. You know, they probably make you feel good most of the time. But write it down. Write it down. And I mean, write it down with your pen and paper, not on the computer. Write it down, okay? And look at the list of things that make you feel good in general. You know, it could be random dancing, ice cream, working out, meditating, a nap, whatever it is. Write it all down. And that way, as things happen, you have a whole list of things to grab from, because you're going to learn this list. This is a part of your practice. You're going to learn it. So you have a whole thing to grab from immediately to help wake you up. I'm forever turning on some comedy because it's fun and I like to laugh. Hey, Pops, what up? How someone feels about you is none of your business. That's so true. That's so true. I mean, it's none of your business. And vice versa. Like, it's just none of your business. But it's so hard to be in that space unless you have the emotional fitness and you know better. You got to know better, know better, know better. You have to know better within your entire being, because intellectual will only get you so far, okay? You have to mirror it with your emotions. You have to know better. You have to know that you know that you know that you stooping to their level will not help them, and it won't help you either. If you want to help, get happy. Even if you don't want to help, get happy. Forget them, whatever. But you be happy. They shouldn't be able to pull you down. They should not be. Vacation with your girls, I see you. Yes. Yes. What about the rest of you? What makes you happy? Vacation is nice. Jamaica. Oh, it's been so long. Comedy makes me happy to laugh. Random dance parties, like we'll stop in the middle of some real work and just shake it off. It feels good. Working out. Oh, yeah. Oh, I almost fell to the floor over here. Dang.
Bixby voice privacy contents have been updated.
Are we still here? Sorry about that, Wanaji. We almost fell off. Working out. I see you. DJ L. Groove. Playing music. Yes, yes. I can see it. You saw that? Almost flipped all the way on the floor. But yeah, you find what works for you. Write it down and practice. Practice it. When you feel your energy start to get low, pick something and do it. Or, I don't know. Depends on what it is. Do it. Say it. Practice it. And pull yourself back up over and over again. The assignment is due by next week. Hey, Jovan, it's due by next week. So when you come back, I want to know about it. So practice it from now until next Tuesday to see if it makes a difference for you. If it makes a difference, that's incredible. It's a keeper. If it does not make a difference, scratch it off. Next, try something else. It has to be something that's easy, something that is fun, or whatever brings you up, whatever makes you happy. Maybe it's not fun. I don't know. Whatever works for you. Okay? All right, y'all. All right. I see agreement. So I'm looking for next week. Okay, y'all. That's what we're doing. Now, next week, next Tuesday, 8 p.m., come back and we will continue our conversation around energy laws and how to apply it in a practical way in our lives right now. Okay, y'all, I'm so happy you're here with me every week. Thank you again for being here. All the love to you all, truly. Until next time, peace and love.